There are men who walk into a room, not the richest, not the best looking, not even the most charming on the surface, and women lean in. Remember them for years. And then there are men who do everything right. Say all the polite things, show up on time, and get forgotten by the next morning. The difference isn't luck. It isn't money. It isn't genetics. It's 3 specific traits, and Machiavelli identified the foundation of all 3 5 centuries before modern psychology gave them names. This is the dark psychology of attraction that almost nobody explains correctly. Most women can't even articulate why these traits affect them so deeply. They just feel it. The 3rd trait is the one that quietly does most of the work, and almost no man ever develops it on purpose. Stay with me. Drop certainty in the comments right now if you're ready for this. Here's what most men get backwards. They think attraction is about performance, saying the right things, being interesting enough, successful enough, funny enough. But real attraction isn't about how you perform in front of her. It's about how she feels in your presence, and how she feels when you're no longer there. Machiavelli wrote something that applies here. He said people are ruled by what they perceive far more than by what's actually true. And what most men project without realizing it is a kind of low-grade uncertainty. A constant, invisible asking, is this okay? What do you think? It's polite, it's considerate, and it lands with almost no weight at all, because it hands her all the responsibility. It whispers, you decide, I'll follow. This is the Machiavellian strategy underneath everything that follows. The man who knows what he wants and says so clearly stands out in a world drowning in hesitation. Before we get into the 3 traits, you need to know where this framework comes from. Machiavelli spent 14 years inside the Florentine government, negotiating, observing, watching power operate at the highest levels. He watched real people, in real rooms, win and lose, based on how they carried themselves. One of his most repeated observations was this: everyone sees what you appear to be. Few ever know what you actually are. That's not about deception. It's about presence. People respond to what radiates from you, your certainty, your attention, your alignment, long before they process anything you actually say. The 3 traits we're about to break down aren't dating tricks. They're the same principles Machiavelli identified about power, command, and presence, applied to the room you walk into and the person standing in front of you. The first trait is what I'm calling the mask of certainty. Picture a man texting a woman he's interested in. The average guy writes, "Hey, maybe we could hang out sometime if you're free?" Sounds polite. Lands like nothing. Now compare that to, "I want to take you out Saturday. There's a place I think you'll love." One hesitates. The other leads. This is the dark psychology of attraction in its simplest form. Leadership isn't control, it's clarity. It's creating a direction so she doesn't have to carry that weight herself. But here's the part Machiavelli would add, and it's the part most men miss. Certainty on its own, without anything underneath it, becomes cold. A man who's certain about everything but sees nothing in front of him just comes across as someone performing confidence. So certainty is the mask. What's underneath it is what determines whether anyone wants to get close. Later in this video, I'll show you the exact moment certainty either becomes magnetic or becomes a wall nobody wants to get near. It's not what you'd expect. Keep watching. The second trait is the silence that reveals. And this is genuinely counterintuitive. Most men think attraction is built by being seen, by performing well enough that she notices you, remembers you, is impressed. But the trait that actually creates connection runs the opposite direction. It's the ability to truly see her, not her looks. Who she actually is underneath what she's presenting. After a meaningful conversation, the average man says, "That was fun." Forgettable. A man operating from this trait says, "I really notice how you think about things." There's a depth to your perspective that's rare. He didn't compliment her appearance. He noticed something internal. Here's the cognitive dissonance worth sitting with. The man trying hardest to be seen is usually the one nobody remembers. And the man quietly seeing everyone else is the one nobody can stop thinking about. Machiavelli's entire career was built on this. Reading rooms, reading people, understanding what moved them before they understood it themselves. This is female psychology Machiavelli understood centuries before the term existed. People open up to whoever genuinely sees them, not whoever performs hardest. There's a difference between a man who needs and a man who chooses. The man who needs leaks desperation. The man who chooses radiates something else entirely, and people feel that instantly. Drop scene in the comments if this one hit different. The third trait, the one that quietly does most of the work, I'm calling the congruent prince. Congruence means your words, tone, body, and internal state are all saying the same thing. No contradiction. No mixed signal underneath. Here's the forbidden knowledge most men never get told. A woman doesn't just listen to your words. She reads your energy underneath them. You can say, "I want to take you out" with perfect wording, but if your voice tightens, your shoulders pull in, your eyes won't hold still, the message dies before it lands. This is where Machiavelli's most misunderstood line actually applies. People assume he was telling rulers to be one thing inside and perform another outside. That's exactly backwards. His real warning was about the gap between the two, because that gap is always detected. Always. So how do you build this? You slow down. You ground yourself before you speak. You let silence do some of the work, because silence gives your words weight. Most men talk too much when they're nervous, filling every pause, diluting everything they just said. A man with this third trait says what he means and lets it land. That stillness isn't awkwardness, it's the entire thing. Remember the open loop, the moment certainty either becomes magnetic or becomes a wall? Here it is. Certainty on its own is just confidence. Loud, impressive for a while, but without genuinely seeing the person in front of you. Certainty becomes a performance with nobody behind it. People feel that, and they stop being drawn in. They start feeling managed. But when certainty is paired with genuinely seeing someone, that's when it stops being a mask and becomes a foundation. Now it's not "watch how confident I am." It's "I know what I want, and what I want includes paying attention to you." And the third trait, congruence, is what makes the first two believable. Without it, certainty sounds like a line, and depth sounds like a tactic. With it, both become real. Machiavelli never wrote about dating, but he wrote about exactly this, the difference between power that's performed and power that's real. Performed power needs an audience constantly. Real power doesn't change depending on who's in the room. So here's where this lands. Certainty creates direction. Being genuinely seen creates connection. Congruence is what makes both land as real instead of performance. The men women forget are the ones chasing a reaction, needing her to respond a certain way to feel like the interaction went well. The men women can't stop thinking about are the ones who stayed present, stayed clear. Let what was real do the talking, without needing it confirmed. Here's the Machiavellian strategy underneath all three traits, in one sentence. Stop trying to get something from the interaction and start being someone who doesn't need anything from it. The moment you stop chasing the outcome is the moment the outcome starts moving toward you. That's the same principle Machiavelli identified about power 500 years ago, just pointed at a different room. Drop congruent in the comments if you're walking away with all three. And if this gave you something to work with, subscribe. We go deeper every week. The work never stops, and neither do you.